Hi guys, it's me Ty, and I'm back with another unboxing. And I want to start off right now and just apologize for if you hear any extra noise or talking in the background. All of my neighbors' children are outside playing at this moment, and being that it's now spring, I'm guessing it's going to be a common occurrence until we go back to fall. So yeah, there's just no point in me putting this off because they're probably going to be out every day until, like I said, fall or no, winter. But anyway, so as I said, here we have an unboxing, and it's my very first Figma, Kirito, from the anime Sword Art Online, which if you guys seen my March haul video, you would recognize him. Yeah, here he is. My very first Figma is Kirito, and I love Kirito. And this one I got from the Crunchyroll store. And as I explained in my haul video, I'm a Nendoroid collector. I didn't figure to go into Figma, but Figma Asuna is being re-released, and so I pre-ordered her. And once I pre-ordered her, I figured I had to get Kirito as well and hunted him down. But anyway, here he is. You can see him from the front with his two extra faces and his swords. And I love the box. Like, I've seen the newer Nendoroid boxes are pretty plain and just boring. This one, you see, it has all the blues and blacks on it and just little symbols on the product number. Figma. Here is the side. So cute. This side. Here is the top, and you can see I already flicked up the plastic seal. The bottom with his yelling face, the same as the top. And here he is from the back. Just try to get a closer picture of that. Here's the same standing position he is on from one of the side bars. And an action pose with him in both swords. Let's get into it. So yeah, like I said, I did have the seal flipped up. And yeah. Okay, and I'm so used to the Nendoroid having instructions. As we can see, this one doesn't. But yeah, you can see the inside part of the box where it says Sword Art Online and it says Figma on the back. It looks like it can be punched out. Yeah, I didn't realize the insert can come out, and it looks like it can be punched out. I guess you can place this over the base or in the background just to have Sword Art Online put out over the side for Kirito. That's cool. I don't think I've seen people do that with their Figmas, but I guess I can try it later. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not fond of punching out stuff out of the box. Kirito himself. So cool. So cool. You see him and the two faces and the two swords. One is the Dark Repulsor, and I can't remember the name of the other one right now. As you can see, the plastic is pretty thick. That's because it's like 3 things stacked together. Yeah, that was smart. Since I pulled this part off first, you can see here the 2 effect slashes, 1 for each sword. I'm guessing this is the hilt for each sword. Yeah. Oh, cool. This is one of those extra plastic bags to put the pieces in, which is cool. I wish Nendoroids had these because their pieces go everywhere. Yeah. And when this stuff fell out. Oh, here's the paper instructions. It just gets stuck in the bottom of the plastic. But yeah, just simple things. I don't really need this, but I just was curious that it didn't have it. But yeah, it does have it. Okay, wow. This is the arm piece for the base of the Figma. A bit different from how we see on Nendoroids, but similar to if anyone saw my figure arts opening of Hanukkah video. It's pretty similar to that, and which, as I understand, figure arts and Figma are like rivals of each other, kind of how like Nendoroids and Capoche are with each other. But yeah, this is a thinner arm, and you see the pegs. Hopefully this one goes on better than my figure arts one did. That one had like a grab bar around the waist, which I didn't enjoy. But this one, yeah, it seems to be peg-like like a Nendoroid. Okay. And here's the Figma's base. Wow, so not used to this. It's thinner than sideways, you see it's thinner than a typical Nendoroid base and doesn't have all the holes. It says Figma. Can you read that? And it just has the one hole in the back to stick it on. And also in that same baggie that came with the base, we have extra hands. Wow, this part is similar a lot like my figure arts figure with all the hands stuck on these little post pieces. Oh, these are cool. Look, they have the, like, you see the little joints in the bottom of it. You just peel one off. And I love those things. I love that it keeps them from getting lost. It's one hand. And you can see all the others. I'm not going to peel them all off, but, you know, 2 fists and hand out. Here's the swords. Here's this one, the black sword, and it's so cool. Look how it is. I'm so used to on Nendoroids that when you have like a sword that's sheathed and unsheathed, usually it's like just 2 separate swords. But this is the actual sword and the actual sheath. Cool. And yeah, the detail on this is pretty cool. You see the silver edging on the sides. Well, I don't know if you can with the light, but yeah, it's so cool. And it's made exactly like how you see in the anime. The other one, the frost sword. So cool. Look at the detail on this. Sorry, my camera isn't focusing so well. Yeah. Here you see it also has like slight white edging or something like that. Here's this one, which kind of like a sheepish expression, or I don't want to say it's embarrassed. He doesn't have a blush on, but yeah, just like his sheepish look, like kind of embarrassed, like, or he did something wrong. And yeah, his shouting expression, which, yeah, I love these faceplates, but they're so tiny. Like, I can just see myself losing one of these eventually. So cool. Just to show also, oh, here's another arm piece that was with the base pack. I only just noticed that, so for all those, I don't want you guys to lose it. Here we have Kirito himself. Yep, with all this plastic. So cool. Look at his face. I love the expression, and I love how well made it is, and all the details. Look how his arm moves. Take the plastic off. Yeah, his coat is like made of like stiff plastic flaps that flip up. They're on joints. Yeah, and for a long time I wouldn't get Figmas. Sorry if I'm shaking him up. Because I didn't like the way the joints were displayed on them usually. But this one isn't too bad. Look at his arms. It's not, yeah. Maybe because they were painted black to match the coat, it's not, doesn't stand out too much. But they're not bad. Bending his arms inward are a little stiff on mine. I can tell already. And here we have Kirito in his first pose, which is basically the same pose he had straight out of the box. The only difference this time is that he has both swords now sheathed at his back. And I'll turn you around and show you that. So far, I mean, this is a re-release Figma, so I already knew about the problems that I was going to have with this one. And so far encountering typical peg issues with the post, but you know, every figure I've had so far usually has that problem, so that's not a big deal and something you should expect. It's just that, see with the coat here, down here, it's like a stiff plastic, but up here on the jacket, the top portion is like very flexible rubber, I want to say. So just pushing that in is a little difficult to really get it in there and keep it to stay. Also, as I showed you those extra peg pieces that fit in the back, that you push in the back and then you can slide the sword sheaths in them. Each one of those fits only one sword. So this one, the blue one, can't fit in the front slot here. It only is made for the black one. This blue one is just like a little too wide to fit in this one. So that does determine the placement. I would take it out to show you, but now that I finally got it in there, they're a little, there it is, like comes out. Well, this one, as you can see between this one, I didn't realize when I first showed it to you guys, but each of the sheaths are different to match each sword. I didn't pay attention to that detail, which is really cool. Except just like I said that, each one fits only one slot on the double sheath, on the double peg here. So this one fits only that one. But just to show the difference between him and a Nendoroid, for those wondering, I'll put him next to my Toka Nendoroid. So we'll have two sword users. But as you can see, this Nendoroid, she's so much smaller. Even on her base, she's so much smaller than the Figma, even though Kirito himself is not really big at all. He's very thin and very small, like very tiny action figure. I always thought they were much bigger until I got my own. But so you size-wise, you can see compared to a Nendoroid, they're both are pretty small, but with her width, she's very wide. So she seems much bigger than him. See the difference? So actually he feels like more fragile than what a little Nendoroid feels. And they're very funny. The figure arts, like I said, very small, even though Honeka's much more tiny than Kirito. And you can see the differences in their bases. She has this wide brown base, I guess to simulate her stage. And he has a standard clear Figma base. But you see the bars are the same, except that his attachment piece is just a typical peg that fits in his back. And her attachment piece to the arm is this grabber that grabs around her waist, which I hate. I mean, I don't like this piece either, but I hate this even more. Because it doesn't allow her to stand up properly for so long. But yeah, that's the only difference between Figma and figure arts. They still have those weird joints, except like him being a male figure, his legs are a little thicker than hers. Okay, and just real quick, when changing the faceplate, it's exactly how my figure arts Honeka was for those who saw the video, and it's the same as a Nendoroid, even though their head is so much smaller. Yeah, but you would run your finger along here and pull back the front bang. Yeah, there it is. And you see the bang has the, I don't know why this is not focusing. I don't know. But it just has the two front pegs that covers her face. And here's the face wise. See from the front, see from the side. And you would just pull it to detach it. Okay, up next, and we have Kirito with his sheepish expression, his, oh, I made a slight mistake and I'm sorry expression. That's the only way, I mean, that's how it looks to me. I mean, his hands up in the back and it's like, oh, he's been caught out in a slight mistake. And I can so see him using this expression so much with the asana Figma, because, you know, then it would make so much sense. And if anyone's seen that anime, yeah, Kirito has this expression a lot, you know, when he gets caught out doing things. But yeah, it's really cute. I wish it was as cute as how it looks on the back of the box, even though the picture on the back of the box is very small. Because it just tells so much from that one little facial expression. But as you can see, nothing really changed here except that I changed the faceplate and his arm is up. Oh, and you did change the hand. But it just tells a completely different story with those few little changes. And yeah, he's really cute. He doesn't have the swords this time, but yeah, this expression is adorable. I love this. He's so cute. I can't wait till I get Asuna to pose them together. Yeah, and there he is from the side. But from this angle, he looks kind of like a muscle man. Not quite the same, but yeah, still cute. Like he's posing for and here like a magazine. Have Kirito in his, I guess, ready to battle pose with him ready to unsheath his sword and, you know, go into battle. And it looks cool, right? Looks like a simple pose, correct? I mean, after all, he's just, you know, one hand pulling his sword out of his sheath on his back. So, I mean, looks totally simple, correct? Just a simple one little change. I didn't even change the faceplate on it. But no, I gotta tell you guys, this was the pose from hell. Holy crap, this pose was so hard to do. I mean, I ran into the problem that everyone has been talking about with this figure. The main issue with it is trying to get the sword into the hands. And I guess that's why it comes with as many hands as it does, because it really doesn't need that many for the poses it has. But let me show you from here. See one of these fists with the hole? Yeah, I mean, you look like you can just slide the sword in and that's it, correct? No, it doesn't work that way. The hilt on each of the swords that you can see here, they have this piece here. So it's pretty thick. And trying to slide it in there, yeah, it doesn't really work, right? No, you have to kind of squeeze the fingers open, like ease it open, and they're so dainty, like you're afraid you're gonna break the sword while holding it, trying to get it in there. So, you know, once it's in there, I'm probably never gonna get them out again. But yeah, one simple little pose from hell. That's all I have to say. I mean, it looks so simple, so easy, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do for any of the figures I've ever had so far. Yeah, I just don't, yeah, I can't even see myself going on to the next pose because, yeah. And then once I even got the sword in his hand and got the hand up, now trying to get that into the sheath and on his back, yeah, the human arm is so much more flexible than these figures. I know that, but yeah, it was just hell. But here he is. I mean, he looks really cool, especially from the back. Even from the front, he looks cool. I mean, I could change his faceplate, but yeah, I love this pose, but yeah, it just was horrible. It's still awesome though. We have Kirito in his battle stance, or however you want to call it. As you can see, he has both swords out and he's showing off his skills as a dual wielder, and he has his yelling face on, which I feel that the only person who should be yelling here is me, because once again, this pose, trying to get this sword in now, after I had all the difficulty with that sword, it just was so, it was like, I mean, pain. I love this figure. I mean, and I knew 100% knew all the problems I was going to have beforehand. So it's not like I walked into this and was so shocked by it. But still, knowing something and then actually experiencing it is two different things. And yeah, I can see what everyone was talking about. As much as I like the figure, that was such a pain trying to get them in there. I mean, I don't think I'm going to leave him in this pose because it's not even done correctly. I don't like how I have him sitting here and his arms aren't right, but I just got so tired after a while. Just was like, forget about it. He's here to stay like this. So he won't be on my shelf in this pose, definitely, because I don't even like this pose as it is. But yeah, just the thought of having to get the swords out of his hands. Yeah, I think they're going back in the box exactly the way they are. But yeah, he does look cool. If I turn him from this angle, I like him a little bit better in this stance. I'm not quite sure how I feel about his facial expression on this. I mean, sure, he's yelling, he's screaming because he's in battle. But I like his cuter face better when he's smiling, or even that sheepish look he had. So yeah, it's not a bad stance, but trying to get it into this stance is just impossible. Here we have Kirito in his last and final pose that's on the box, and it's him like really slashing at it and really showing showing his skills as a dual wielder. Yeah, as you can see here, yes, it came with 2 effects, one for each sword, even though the box only displays 1, and I can kind of see why. Sure, this pose, again, I had trouble posing him. I'm not a fan of these figma joints. They're not as smooth as on the, I mean, I have problems with the Nendoroids, don't get me wrong, but I have even more problems with moving the joints on the figma. They seem stiffer, and like this one, like especially on his neck, doesn't move as well, and on his legs and feet. So of course this pose doesn't look as cool as it does on the box. And as you see the slash effect here, you can already see the problem I was having just when I was talking. It slides, it's a thicker plastic, and it slides over the sword. But the sword is very thin and fragile, and so is the joint in his hand. So the effect is a little too top heavy. You see it constantly falls down, like you have to keep it just right for it to sit up. And I can't imagine having both of the effects on each sword at the same time. Like the blue one, you're just asking for it to tip over and for him to tip over. So, I mean, he still looks pretty cool. I'm trying not to turn him too much. Like, from this angle, he looks really cool. Even though, like I said, it's not as good as how it looks on the box. So, I do like it like this. But, yeah, it doesn't seem feasible to have him on my shelf worrying about this all the time. Already, you can see it sliding down like it's coming off. But just me trying to touch it to fix it is just asking for it to fall down. So, yeah, I mean, he looks really cool. And overall, I don't regret purchasing this figure. Pros of this Kirito Figma, the pro is Kirito. So far, that's the only pro. Like, it's Kirito, and it looks like Kirito, and the detail looks cool on him, and it's Kirito. Cons, everything else. Moving his joints, trying to get the swords in each of his hands, the slash effects, see it's falling, the slash effects on his swords, yeah, even this, the swords is just way too fragile, and I don't want to move it out of his hands. I'm so afraid I'm gonna break them because they're so tiny and so thin, so fragile. Yeah, everything else. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that it's Kirito and that it looks like him and it's just so well detailed, like visually, it's very appealing, and I love that. So I don't have regrets in buying him. But if you're looking for cool poses with your Figma, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, unless you get a better one than I did, which I doubt, because like I said, as a re-release figure, all the problems are pretty much known in a figure collecting community. So I doubt you'll get one better than I did. But yeah, I mean, so if you're looking into posing him really well, I mean, just expect to have some stuff to prop him up or something. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys, and thanks for watching. And maybe I'll do a quick little video of that Figma playset I got, just to show it off a little bit, to show you how it sets up. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Can't wait to get Asuna to pose them two together. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.